Hi guys, Woody here, and with FM22 about to come out in just over a week, I thought I'd have a look here at some teams to manage. Five different sort of teams to manage. You may be unsure about who you're going to use for your full save, and you don't want to go with Newcastle or Wrexham. So, like I said, I've got 5 teams here. They're a bit of a challenge. We've got some fallen giants, stuff like that. So let's go and have a look at them. Alright, and so first club off the rank we've got here is Dorking Wanderers. Now, Dorking Wanderers, bit of a story behind them. Mark White here, who was the manager, I think he's also the owner as well. Him and a couple of mates, they basically created this club. They started playing on like a council field, had to rent it like 50 quid or something. And yeah, they've just literally built the club from like the very bottom of English football. So as you can see here, year founded in 1999. They're a semi-professional at the moment. They're in a Vanarama South, and they have just got promotion last year. So if we have a look at their overview here, you can see here. Obviously, this is going back to 2013. They have just blown up the league. Now, if they keep going like they are going in real life, in about 10 years they'll be in the Premier League. So big ups for Dorking Wanderers there. And also I love the logo there. The Dorking is actually kind of cockerel, so there you go. So yeah, they're really good. Like I said, Vanarama National League South, so you've got them to go through this, then up into the National League, which is a really difficult league to get out of, as is this one, and then you can go League 2 and obviously all the way up to the Premier League. See if you can do it in under 10 years, which, kind of like I said, if they keep going like they have done for the last 10 years, they'll be in the Premier League. See if you can do it in less than 10 years. Just having a bit of a look at the squad. Let's have a look at their reports here. They've got some pretty decent players here. Bobby Joe Taylor, 26-year-old left winger. He looks pretty decent for this level. He's not too bad. Josh Taylor is another one there. Oh, there we go. Yep. He's an attacking midfielder, or your Mazzala there. I think he's got some pretty good stats. The stats that he needs, most of them are in double figures. So I think Dorking have got some pretty decent players here. Jason Pryor, 32-year-old poacher, 13 finishing. That's pretty good for this league. So that is Dorking Wanderers if you want a bit of a challenge there. Right, we've hopped on plane and we've gone all the way over to Norway, and now we've got Bodo Glimt here as the second team to manage. Now, they're quite interesting because if you have a look in the Norway Premier Division, they actually won the competition last year for the first time ever in their league, breaking the dominance of Rosenborg, who obviously are the massive dominant team in Norway. A couple of other ones there with Molde and the like, but they came second in 2019, and then they finally won it last year. So maybe a little bit easier there, as you're taking over a relatively big-ish team. As you can see, we're halfway through the season because their season starts earlier, and they're not doing too well. But so they've got Champions League football to go with. So I think this would be a really good club to take over. You could do like a building the nation kind of thing as well. And I think it'd be really good. They do have a few interesting players. They've got some good young players. This guy here, Fredrik Bjorken, 20-year-old Norwegian left back. He looks pretty good at the moment. He's wanted by RB Leipzig as well, end of contract. So he looks pretty good there. Really impressed with him. And there was this guy. He looks fairly decent, 21-year-old striker. They have another striker who I think is pretty good. His name is Victor Boniface, Nigerian 20-year-old. He's got some good stats, double figures here. I reckon he could be a bit of a special player later on in his years. As you can see, they're rated as 5-star potential. A couple of other players here. He's on loan at the moment, 21 years old, but looks pretty good. So I think that'd be pretty good. Like I said, the building a nation. You could go with Norway. Norway obviously has like Haaland, so you can try and build on that if you can get that national job. So Bodo Glint. Let's hop on the plane to our next destination. And we have landed in Italy, more specifically at Palermo FC. Now, I picked Palermo here. They are all the way down in the Italian Serie C. So they're a long way down the bottom, but a couple of reasons. One, love the pink kit. Looks pretty swish. You can't deny that. The other thing as well with Palermo is just having a look here overall. As you can see here, early 2000s, they were pretty good in the top division here. They finished, what's that, fifth again. A little bit of a dip there, and then back up to fifth and eighth there. So there's some really strong leagues in there. And then unfortunately they've had a massive dip all the way down through Serie B down into Serie C. So they were a huge club in the early 2000s, pushing for that Champions League spot. I have memories of watching them with, with stuff like that. So I think they're a really good team to try and push back up to the top there, and try and regain some of that sort of former glory. Alberto Amici looks pretty good right back here. He's 28 years old though, so he's not going to be around too long, but he definitely do a job down all the way down the bottom in Serie C here. You've got this guy here, Alessio Butero, 18-year-old central defender, 4.5-star potentials, good determination. All right, he's got some low spots, but I think he could be a good little guy there to help you up the leagues. So Palermo, and you can't knock that pink kit. That looks pretty damn swish. All right, let's jump on a plane and let's head over to our next destination, which I'm pretty sure is in Germany. And here we are in Germany, and more specifically at Kaiserslautern. Now, Kaiserslautern are all the way down in the Bundesliga 3, whatever it's called. I think that's it, Bundesliga 3. So once again, they were a massive team in the 2000s. As you can see here, capacity they've got is just under 50,000. So it is a huge stadium. So no worries there, trying to get a big stadium, trying to build that as you plow through the leagues. Now, I remember them back in the 2000s. They had Miroslav Closer. He played for them. He was one of my favourite players around that time. Such a good player. So let's go and have a look. Oh, as you can see here, they won the Bundesliga 4 times, the DFB Pokal twice, and you can see here in that early 2000s, they were pretty good here, finishing 7th as well. This is when I remember them. A couple of dodgy seasons, and then they dropped down to the Bundesliga 5, back up again, but since then it has been a massive decline since getting relegated in 2011-2012. So this is another one of those fallen giant ones, maybe a bit bigger giant than Palermo was. Yeah, they won their last one in 1998, so it's not too long ago, and as you can see here, they had some runners up in the 90s that were pretty damn strong. So very strong with that 96, winning league in 98, and that cup there as well. So they're a massive point giant, like I said, just under 50,000 for the stadium, so they would be a pretty good buy to take over here. And I reckon Miroslav Closer, he has got to be on this list. There he is, Miroslav Closer. And he is actually an unemployed assistant manager, so you could pick him up and try and sign him for that. We see here he is, Kaiserslautern, there you go. There he is before he moved on to Werder Bremen and Bayern Munich and then Lazio. Having a look at their squad, they had some fairly decent players for this level here. Kenny Redondo, 26-year-old German winger. They're fairly decent there. Decent young players who have stood out is probably 19-year-old. Oh no, he's not. In the team is Mohamed Kiprit, 21-year-old Turkish striker. Probably a bit slow, but he could be someone who might be able to get you, as you get up the leagues, looking pretty good. So that's my 4th club on the list. Let's head down now to the last club that we're going to have a look at, and it is in Spain. And here we are, the last club, which is Deportivo La Caruna, just known as Caruna in the game, so be very careful if you are looking for them. As you can see, massive stadium here, 32,600. They were huge in the early 2000s. They had awesome team, players like there is Roy Mackay, remember him, a couple of others, but they were really good. If you have a look at their history, The overview, they won the Spanish First Division, 2 Spanish Cups, and as you can see here in the early 2000s, they were finishing second in the league twice, then a third, then another, then another third, a little bit of a dip, and since then they got relegated, come back up, got relegated. They yo-yoed for a bit here in 2012, but stayed in La Liga there for a while, but then have absolutely plummeted over the last couple of years and pretty much been relegated. I think they got relegated here. They got relegated here, missed out on the playoffs here, or lost in the playoffs, and then the second season, which is 1920, they got relegated and they couldn't get back out here. So I think they're pretty good. As you have a look here, they won that Spanish First Division in 2000 and the Spanish Cup in 2002. They had a really, really good squad there. What is interesting though about the Spanish division here, it is really, really difficult to get out of this league, because the way they do it is they have the Division A, and then from that they have a, I wonder if we can show the, where is it? So yeah, so here they have the Spanish Federation A, they've got the clubs in here, they've got the ones under. It's quite difficult to get up. Promotions are 1 to 3 up into the Spanish second division, and then what happens is you do play playoffs against the Spanish first division B if you fall in here. I think top just go straight up, and then obviously these 4 here go into another mini league with the B table, and it is it's really difficult to get out of. So you've got some interesting teams down there as well. I reckon if we have a look at the Spanish Federation B, there will be some B clubs in there as well to play against. See Barcelona B down there, Real Madrid B, Sevilla B, Villarreal B. So they're all the hard ones there. Those teams can get promoted. They can't obviously play in the same division there others, but you find yourself trying to get out of this league playing against like a Real Madrid or a Barcelona B. So very, very tricky to get out. Let's have a look at some of their players at Deportivo La Caruna. Players that kind of stood out for me. I love that name, Ian Mackay, Spanish goalkeeper, 34. What was he? 25-year-old Adrian Lapena, the central defender. He looks pretty good. 25-year-old. Yeah, it could be someone to help you push up the league there. As youngsters kind of go, Pep Calavera, 21-year-old Spanish central midfielder, potential 5-star potential there as well. I said potential twice in the sentence there. He looks fairly decent, a lot of double figures, and he could go on to be someone special. So that is it, guys. I'm going to leave it there. So there's 5 different teams to manage that you may not be aware of, and some of them, like I said, a couple of fallen giants there in Deportivo, Kaiserslautern. You a bit of a build nation there with Bodo Glimt if you wanted, or just try and get to the Premier League in less than 10 years and try and do that different thing than Dorking Wanderers. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please hit that like button. I'm doing Leeds beta save at the moment, so you can head over and have a look at that if you want. We're coming up to finishing our first season, and it's looking pretty good. Until then, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.